Given the very nature of pair skating, it is no surprise that the teams who are leading have been together the longest.
When I look to the sky, something tells me you're here with me, and you make everything alright. When I feel like I'm lost, something tells me you're here with me, and I can always find my way when you're here.
The pairs skate for gold next. Back in Atlanta, a great look down at Centennial Olympic Park, all lit up on this evening. The best from across the U.S. are here competing for the gold medal. Inside Phillips Arena, we turn our attention now to the pairs free skate here at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Terry Gannon, along with Dick Button, Peggy Fleming, Lisa Guerrero, and Peter Carruthers. The final group on the ice warming up, including, Peggy, the reigning national champs, Tiffany Scott and Philip DoLavon.
Well, they've had a steady climb since 1998, earning 3 silver medals. And finally, last year at the Nationals, they won their first national title. And these are big shoes for them to fill, because now defending the national title is a whole different ballgame. So it's a whole different level of stress.
Different kind of pressure, huh?
Totally.
Renna Inaway and John Baldwin Jr. also here, the 2003 U.S. bronze medalist. Dick?
Well, you know, I mean, I just really love this couple. I mean, John Baldwin has competed a total of 14 times in singles. Now he's been in 3 national championships, and now he's skating with Renna Inaway, and they're exciting, and they're interesting, and they're fun, and they have good energy, and their short program was very, very attractive to watch.
I'm here in this group, Dick, Katie Orsher and Garrett Lukash. They won the silver medal at the 2003 U.S. National Championships. And they're coming off of their best short program of the year. Some important international experience for them this year, so you cannot count them out either. Here are the standings after the short program heading to the free skates. Scott and DoLavon trying to win for the 2nd straight year to stand on the top step of the podium. Renna Inaway, John Baldwin Jr., they look for their first gold medal. And Orsher and Lukash trying to medal for the 2nd time in this event. The pairs free skate 4.5 minutes long and worth 2/3 of the overall score. On the ice, Katie Orsher and Garrett Lukash. She is 19 years of age. He is 25. They are both from Connecticut. And last year, they won the silver medal. Right now, they're in 3rd.
Opening move, this triple twist, little struggle on the landing. They kind of bumped into each other.
Well, compared to the Chinese, they not got as high nor as much of a split. Right. And of course, that's a difficulty.
And these side-by-side triple toe loops. He struggled a little bit on the landing, but I think fought through that into double flips.
The Chinese you're talking about, the Shen and Zhaos of the world, who have kind of set the standard as of late.
Absolutely. That's the ones that we'll be seeing at the World Championships coming up in March.
She had good height on that, but did not check that landing.
He opened that one up, not even into an axel, but into a waltz jump, which was even more embarrassing, I think.
They got a late start training-wise to their season. They both crashed their cars in the offseason, had injuries, and then Garrett had problems with his blades. What's all the problems with the boots and the blades this year? Tiffany Gable and Michelle had problems for a while. But they did go to Skate America, where they came in 8th, and then competed at Skate Canada, where they were 9th.
Notice that he's on the inside and she's on the outside edge. They switch to spread eagle spiral.
They need to work on their positions more steady edge, more stretch, and give these moves more importance.
I mean, it's almost as though everything is really accomplished by muscle here, rather than having a natural flow or less tentative or less klutzy or heavy kind of movement. If it's lighten it up and speed it up, I think it would help it tremendously.
And now this throw, triple Salchow back inside edge takeoff.
Oh, that was very good.
But I think she could have sold that a lot better on the landing if she would have stretched that position and really showed some control. Would have even emphasized that move so much more.
A back outside death spiral. Years ago, the girl would always go down far enough to drag her hair on the ice and come up with almost a crown of snow. And then the powers that be said, no, that's too theatrical. The girl can't balance her head on the ice, and they banned it, gave it a deduction if they do that today. And it's almost as if you want to light a firecracker under this pair.
This is their final move in their program, the star lift. Exit could be a lot better.
This needs to be lighter and quicker and
more effortless. That's what they're going for. A lot of mistakes in this program. It's really too bad because they did so well in the short program. A wonderful interpretation of the blues. It was a better choice of music. This was maybe not bringing out their best qualities, I think.
Third trip to the senior national championships. They came in 5th in 2002. Last year they won the silver medal. Now they're trying to hold on to make it to the podium. Katie Orsher and Garrett Lukash.
And here is one of the many problems they had in the program here, these side-by-side double axles. He totally opened up and only did like a waltz jump. So that was a very, very bad mistake. And here on their throw, triple Salchow, watch her take off from this back inside edge as he throws her up in the air. She gets good height, but this landing position, she should have stretched and really used that a little bit more to emphasize that beautiful move.
Now in the kiss and cry area, as they wait for the marks, the first set will be for technical merit, the second for presentation. There's the first set. They're fairly generous.
Well, they're very consistent marks, right? I mean, practically all 5-3s, 1-5, 2-5-4s, 1-5-5. But you know, the marks they just need excitement. They need to be much more athletic, much more energetic, and less heavy in their skating.
We'll see how that holds up for Orsher and Lukash. When we come back, Rena Inaway and John Baldwin Jr. in second place in a great position to try to win their first gold medal. On the ice right now, the team that won the bronze medal at last year's national championships, 27-year-old Rena Inaway and 30-year-old John Baldwin Jr. You heard Dick talk about it. John Baldwin has been to the U.S. Nationals 14 times. That was in single skating. 19 times overall if you count his trips on the junior level, too.
I think this is a great music choice for this team. They have a lot of flash and energy.
In second place with a great opportunity to win the gold.
Opening with these wallies into triple toes. Timing was off. She did a triple, and he doubled his.
Little bit of a catch on the way down. You've really got to get high enough so that you can complete the split and the revolution and then set down. And those, incidentally, were so-called running sit spins or sparks that used to be done beautifully by years ago. You hardly see them anymore.
They are effective. Side-by-side double axels, and now again into side-by-side triple toes, and he goes down.
That was one of those terrible falls where the legs go out in unattractive positions, and they just stop the skater from bouncing down and bouncing right back up again. That's a tough one.
That's a nice strong lift. One arm exit.
Inaway is originally from Tokyo. She came to the U.S. to train back in 1996. She used to represent Japan internationally. Back at the age of 15, she went to the '92 Olympics in Paris. John Baldwin is from Santa Monica, California.
There's a very nice soft quality, a nice romantic movement kind of flow between the two of them, and I think that will hold them in good stead. Those spread eagles leaning in opposite directions and now together, very good.
Beautiful lift here. Gorgeous position in the air. Nice and steady. Now this triple loop, back outside edge takeoff. Very nice.
Next lift, watch the exit. First, press position here. Now watch the drop out. Wrong one.
A little rough on the exit of that lift. It's got to be much smoother, much more confidence. Spinal move is forward, inside death spiral.
And look at the nice arch right from his hand all the way down to the end of her leg, and then the exit on it. That was really quite beautiful.
Very pretty ending. It was a very nice program, but they had a lot of major mistakes in here by the side-by-side jumps and the throws. A lot of falls, but overall it was a real beautifully done program.
Remember, not only is the gold medal at stake here, but a spot on the U.S. World Championship team. That's John's parents, and they have been involved in figure skating, especially John, for a long, long time. Out in California, but 2 spots available for the pairs for the World Championship team. They'd love to get one of those and win the gold. Inaway and Baldwin.
And this was their opening moves they did with wallies into these triple toe loops. Side by side, their timing was a little off. He did a double, and she did a triple. And this was a look at their throw triple sow cow they had problems on. She's good in the air. Actually, she didn't get up enough in the air, and she's leaning, and legs are twisted around. There was just no way for her to save that.
Inaway and Baldwin.
Now the kiss and cry along with her coach, Jill Watson, an Olympic pairs runs medalist back in '88 with Peter Oettgaard. First set for technical merit, 5-2 up to 5-6, the high mark.
And 5-3.
I don't think that they're bad. I mean, you know, they had a lot of mistakes, and I think that is probably the right kind of marks for that. Their presentation,
Look, those marks
I
right.
think, are very good.
Those marks right there are very nice. And I think they get many of their stylistic lines right from that lady, Jill Watson. She was a wonderful stylist with Peter Oettgaard in the Olympics.
Inaway and Baldwin. We're down to the final team, the defending champs, Tiffany Scott and Philip DoLavon, skate for gold as we continue from Atlanta. 23 years ago, Kitty and Peter Carruthers won their first national title.
There's something about this couple that I think everyone in the audience can feel how nice they really are.
The new American national champions in pairs figure skating, Kitty and Peter Carruthers.
The audience just loves them.
Another peak moment in our 40 years at nationals. It comes down to the final team here in the pairs free skate. Inaway and Baldwin have the lead over Orr and Lukash, but here are the reigning champs, Tiffany Scott and Philip DoLavon, in the lead after the short program, trying to win for the second straight year.
And they had a rather shaky warm-up here, falling on a few of the moves.
But this opening of a death spiral is unusual and slow and careful.
And now these side-by-side triple toes, double toe combination. She executed it, and he didn't.
When they won last year, it was not a performance that they would write home about. They fell twice.
That wasn't high enough, nor split enough.
Triple sow cow, leaning in the air, but she saved that landing. Nice stretch in the position.
Ah, that's a disaster.
Well, no matter what, you're going to have a pairs champion who's had a performance that was less than scintillating. This team went to the World Championships last year once again. They came in 9th, but that was 2 spots down from what they did the year before.
Unison is much improved this year. Single, not even a double, let alone a triple. Boy, they are certainly off tonight. Side by side double axles.
They were determined to land those. Pair spin, very slow.
But on the exit of it, they do a touch of mirror skating. Something we used to see a lot of in skating, and less now. Coming up right at the end of this sequence. Here. Just a touch, but it's nice to see that element. Okay, diagonal footwork, just not brilliant. Not exciting enough, nor difficult enough.
Needed to have a little more speed over the ice. Usually they're a little bit faster. And this final move. This death spiral.
And here's again, look at the nice line from his arm right down to her toe.
Oh, very disappointing.
Unfortunately, it's indicative of where American pair skating is right now.
You know, it's the hardest thing in the world to do pair skating. I mean, I take my hat off to all of the people that try it. It takes forever to get two people that are equal in both what their physical abilities are as well as their desires.
Neither was impressive, but it is close. Inaway and Baldwin, the current leaders backstage. Will they win their first gold medal? We'll see in a moment. Tiffany Scott, Philip DoLavon, and the kissing cry. Not much kissing going on right now.
Well, they had a disaster in their performance here as the side-by-side triples early in the program. And she did her triple, and he ended up falling and having a hard time recovering and getting back into the program. And here was one of their successful moves they did in the program, this throw triple Salchow. Very nice in the air, but did kind of struggle on the landing. And here was the star lift that they really struggled with, and it just totally collapsed on them. And it was a disaster. It's really.
The judges' marks.
So disappointing.
So remember, not only the medals, but the world spots, the spots on the world team, only 2 of those available. Here are the marks. Technical merit 5-1 to 5-5. Those are not as high as Inaway and Baldwin.
No, but they're such a hard-working team, and they really put a lot of effort into their training, but they just lose their focus. They've never been able to put 2 programs clean together in a competition.
And they talked about how much they wanted to do that here at Nationals. The presentation marks and the judges' placements, the all-important placements, a couple of firsts, but also 3 fourth place. Look at that. Currently 3rd overall. That's where they end up, Dick.
And in 4th place, my God.
So they end up in 3rd, and you're looking at the new champions. For the first time, Rena Inaway, John Baldwin Jr., and there are John's parents. I think they realized it before John and Rena realized it. Or they're just in shock is what they're in. They can't believe it, and I think so are Tiffany Scott and Philip DoLavon. They're in shock as well that they dropped from 1st down to 3rd. So the perseverance pays off for John Baldwin. He and Rena Inaway capture the gold medal. Orr and Lukash for the 2nd time the silver, and Scott and DoLavon end up 3rd. One title remains to be determined. The ladies skate for gold live, but next, Dick Button takes us down memory lane in celebration of ABC's 40 years at the Nationals.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ice Pond Farm, where I live in upstate New York, not far from the Connecticut border. Now, this is called Ice Pond Farm because for the past 200 years, farmers have taken big blocks of ice out of the pond when it freezes in the winter and stored them right over here in the ice house. Now, something magical happens here in the middle of the winter, and that's when we get black ice. And as everybody knows, black ice is when the ice freezes through without anybody skating on it and without any snow falling on it. And the result is a wonderful blackboard on which skaters can draw the most beautiful edges and the most interesting and intricate figures. And that, of course, is where this sport of figure skating gets its name. When ABC Sports first started covering the national championships in 1964, school figures were an integral part, as Carol Heiss demonstrated during one of our early telecasts.
Go figures are worth 60% and the free skating 40%.
Unfortunately, today, figures are a lost art, but it does spare judges aching backs as they no longer have to bend to scrutinize edges. Ah, judging, do you remember when placards were held high to indicate the marks? I do, and I remember how exciting it was to hear the announcement of those enchanting numbers.
6.0, 6.0, and 6.0.
Now, with the new scoring system, this may well be one of the last nationals where scores will be based on 6. And though it may be confusing in its infancy, the end result, most likely, will be a step forward. I long for days gone by when advertisements did not clutter the boards and giant paintings failed to adorn center ice. But then I've always been known as a confirmed traditionalist. But what's brought us to the Nationals all these years has been the skaters themselves. And you know something? I've had the best time watching them. After the tragic plane crash of 1961, the hopes of America were carried on the shoulders of 12-year-old Scott Allen. And by 14, he had won a national title. He was a hero for a sport that desperately needed one. We first saw Janet Lynn as a fresh-faced 13-year-old. She matured into a champion of ethereal grace. It seemed like Brian Boitano grew up overnight. One season he was awkward, the very next a romantic leading man. In the last 40 years, no one has had the staying power of Michelle Kwan. 12 times now we've watched her at the national championships as she's provided us with a virtual scrapbook of memories. You know, these skaters aren't the only ones that have matured. I mean, I've been watching them so long that I find they've educated me, inspired me, and changed my ideas about skating. In fact, I've been watching for such a long time. Can you believe that there was once a time when I had a full head of hair?
You've changed. You're not the angel I once knew. You've changed.
If you think I've changed, well, just take a look at how the costumes have changed.
I wanna look king, so my dream will say you don't look like the same old.
So keen that I'll scream, here comes my walking rainbow.
I got a suit with a reef fleet and the stuck up and the glad flat.
In the latest fad,
See my Sunday girl.
One constant through the years has been the skaters' determination. But every so often, programs don't go quite as planned.
You're making me fall down.
Ah,
oh.
Falling down again. I wish you could fall down. Can you catch me, darling? I'm home.
we're not poking fun at any of these skaters. Everybody knows that falls are what skating is all about. In fact, every skater also knows that when you stop falling, you stop improving. But skating, like life, requires perspective, and there's nothing like a good laugh to cure the inevitable disappointments that face us all. Indeed, the Nationals have given us a wide range of emotions. We reached the depths with the bizarre happenings of 10 years ago.
What's that little guy dinner?
In Detroit today, Nancy Kerrigan was attacked at a practice session for the U.S. Figure Skating Championships.
Despite extraordinary athletic talent, Tonya Harding, the only American woman to complete a triple axel, always seemed to choose the wrong paths when given a choice. As for Nancy Kerrigan, an Olympic medal was a happy reward for this ugly experience. And there were emotional journeys, too. Was any more inspirational than Rudy Galindo's? He came from an impoverished background. He grieved loved ones lost, and he saved his best for the national stage. For one day, in front of his hometown fans in San Jose, Rudy met his moment in exquisite style, and he shared his personal joy with us all. Others, too, invited us along for the ride. Todd Eldridge, with quiet pride, did so 6 times. Debbie Thomas made history, the first African-American to stand atop the podium. Elaine Zayac with multiple jumps and a comeback for the ages. And a 14-year-old who shrieked, shocked the nation. We'll never forget Tara's unabashed enthusiasm. All these years, I've reveled in and been proud of those moments when true skating quality shines supreme. Scott Hamilton gave us quick turns, clean lines, and big personality. The delayed single axle and signature camel were only two of Dorothy Hamill's gifts. Misha Petkovich showed us drama, flair, and a flying death drop to die for. Ty and Randy offered a softer, elegant alternative to an era dominated by powerful Russian skating. Was there anything more dramatic than Brian Boitano's trademark spread eagle? Or more graceful than Janet Lynn's flying sit spin? Today we enjoy two superlative spiralists, Sasha Cohen, technically proficient, Michelle Kwan, passionate and expressive. There was a time when the Nationals was not all about repetitive jump combinations, and nobody expressed this better than Peggy Fleming. I still get mesmerized by the calm elegance she showed when she proved the old saying, less is more, sometimes much more. We've seen so much these past 40 years. 40 years united by a common thread, the dream.